Hello, everyone. This is another episode of Open Book. I am Billy Price. I am one of the two co-founders at Billy Footwear. And if you guys are not familiar with Open Book, first off, let me say I love Open Book because Open Book gives us the opportunity to share a little information about the brand, the Billy Footwear story, how we came to be, where we're going, what we're doing. But the part that I think probably warms my heart the most is when we get to have guests on our show that we collaborate with. So today, it's my absolute privilege and honor to have Lori on the show today. Lori, she works with the Arc of Weld County, but she also is spearheading the Styles Beyond Stereotypes fashion show coming up. We're going to be a part of as well. And I am so excited to learn more. But Lori, welcome to Open Book.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here.
Well, Lori, I'm already tripping over my words because there's so many things I want to ask you about. But let's start with the fashion show, Styles Beyond Stereotypes. Tell me all about the upcoming fashion show.
Absolutely. So we were trying to find a way to create a fundraiser that would kind of connect to our roots. And one of the things that we have that's a huge blessing with the Arc of Weld County is we have Arc Thrift Stores throughout the state of Colorado. Those Arc Thrift Stores pour into and help provide some of our funding. So the Styles Beyond Stereotypes came in and said, let's lean into both of those and figure out a way that we can push both of them forward. And so we found a designer. His name is Ryland Alms. He's amazing. He worked in Los Angeles with Kanye West and some other big names. Is back in Colorado for a little bit, and he was looking for a project. And we said, would you be interested in helping to create some, one-of-a-kind pieces? And so he stepped up to the plate along with another designer. And so we're sourcing most of our materials through the Arc Thrift Stores. And then we're also providing some other stuff for him, some fabric and stuff like that as well. But he's creating pieces for these models. And we have 20 models. All of our models have different abilities. We like to say all abilities. And we kind of stumbled into seeing you guys a little bit more and connecting you guys by, as I asked more questions to our models, I realized that 7 of our models actually wear Billies on a regular basis.
Love it.
So
that is so cool. So now I know there's a lot of donations kind of going into the fashion show, but the fashion show is also going to be a revenue generator too, right?
Yep, that's our hope. It's the first year we're doing it, so obviously, you're always trying to make make some money out of it. But the reality is, we really want to push the needle. We really want to change culture, and that's the reason why we picked Beyond Stereotypes. Styles Beyond Stereotypes, because we want people to see beyond that. And so we're going to invest quite a bit into the event, and we're hoping to turn a profit, but we also want to make sure we change that perception right away.
Wow. Awesome. Well, I think this would be a good time to kind of share the website so others can learn more about it. So on the screen right now, there's a website listed for those that are listening in. I'll read it off to you. So it's stylesbeyondstereotypes.org. That's the website. And there's also a lot of information on social as well, which both Facebook and Instagram, it's at Styles Beyond Stereotypes. Tell me about the models, Lori. You're talking about those with like various ability types. I mean, I'm a wheelchair user. I have a spinal cord injury. So, I don't have best hand dexterity. So, which is kind of the inspiration behind like the shoes, the way they're configured to be able to I don't have to shove my foot into a shoe. But it sounds like there's a lot of other folks that have already gravitated towards the brand, but others that are maybe new to the brand that are bringing their own style to the table.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we have 20 different models. They range with various different disabilities, everything from Down syndrome to trisomy 18 to cerebral palsy. We have autism. We have individuals that are visually impaired. A very variety. We have a few in there that have undiagnosed disabilities at this point. They're still trying to figure out what's going on. But yeah, these are amazing people that I just hope that we can really highlight. I personally have a son who's 18 who has Down syndrome. And so it's kind of drawn me into this role, drawn me into this space. And, one of my desires has always been, I wish the world could see what I see. And I see him as this incredible, capable individual. But a lot of times when people see him for the first time, they think of what he can't do, not what he can do. And that's really what this is about, is displaying, there's challenges in it. Yeah, there's obstacles. But the reality is behind all of that is this deep, beautiful experience. And I have a hard time when I interact with moms and individuals that have kids with disabilities, there's always a commonality of this light that shines behind it. And that's really what we're trying to show in this.
Wow. How many, what kind of turnout are we looking for?
We'll probably have around 400 is what it's going to be at the event itself. We're selling about 380 tickets, and then we'll probably have 30 or 40 volunteers. So it's a pretty big endeavor. I've done a lot of different things, but this has a lot of bit of moving parts to it and pieces to it. And I've never done a runway show, so this is going to be exciting.
Well, I know you're in, so Weld County, that's an area within Colorado. I'm not necessarily familiar with that county. Can you kind of explain, like, how far does that stretch?
Sure. It's one of the larger counties in Colorado. And we don't just service Weld County. We actually service all of the counties east of us. So we actually service 1/10 of the state of Colorado. And so, and we're transitioning to a new rebrand name. Our future name will be the Arc of Northeast Colorado. We've been trying to service those communities out there in the Eastern Plains, but now we're going to be more intentional about that process. And so Weld County is east of I-25. So it's going to be just on the other side of Fort Collins and Loveland, if you're familiar with those communities.
Yep.
Primarily ag area, historically based, but we have a lot of large companies there too as well. And a university called University of Northern Colorado.
Okay. Could you touch more on the Arc? I mean, I know there's various chapters. It's more than just in Colorado, but I'm just so intrigued by the Arc because I've only learned about it recently, and what you guys are doing is just absolutely amazing, and I think it'd be important for others to learn about it as well.
Thank you very much. So the Arc, our mission is to promote and protect individuals with intellectual disabilities. So we service people all the way from birth, all the way through the span of their life. And so maybe there's a family that's getting on an IEP and they're not sure what to do with their kiddo, or they're experiencing some bumps in the road with schools. We can come alongside and we can advocate with them, and we can actually physically go to their IEP meetings and help alongside of that. All of our services are at no cost, so we do not charge for any of our services. They're totally free. We don't receive any federal or state funding, so the primary bulk of our funding comes in from the Arc Thrift Stores and then private donors as well. And that's one of the reasons we're doing this fundraiser. Some of the things that we do within there too, besides our advocacy piece of just one-on-one with individuals, is we have a summer unified basketball program. We believe in the power of inclusion. We believe in the power of unified basketball and unified sports. So I have a son, and he said, "Hey, Mom, when's the next time we're going to play basketball?" And I said, "Well, we got to wait a year because it's only one season out of the year." And he was pretty sad because he loves basketball. So I said, "Well, let's start a program in the summer." So this last summer we had almost 150 participants with our volunteers, and we had 10 different teams, and they played for a span of about 7 weeks. It was 12 sessions. And it was incredible to see the growth that these guys had. It was just amazing. And we have everybody from middle school all the way up to, like, I think we had almost a 70-year-old gentleman in there this year. So, yeah, we do that. We also partner with UNC, the University of Northern Colorado, to do a No Limits football camp. So the football team comes, and we pair them up with an individual with intellectual disabilities, and they get a buddy for the day, the football player, and they get to do all these activities and play different games, and the other sports come in and do a booth in there. And it's really a transformational experience. I've seen kids come in there and think, "I can't play football. I've never been given the chance. I don't know what I'm doing," and then leave and be like, "I think this is amazing." My personal son picked up weightlifting after it, and he went on to lose 25 pounds. So there's just, part of what I've experienced is a lot of times society tells individuals with disabilities that they can't. And then eventually the parents start to think maybe they can't. And then the kiddo thinks, "I can't do it." And it's having to break out of those barriers or those walls that they feel are built around them. And that's part of what we're trying to do.
Boy, incredible. Yeah, it's just a testimony to mindset, really.
Yes, absolutely.
Did you know about the Arc growing up, or were you introduced to the Arc through your son?
Mostly through my son. And to be honest with you, it's one of those things that I always say he made me a better person. He opened up a world that I didn't really see before. I I played a lot of sports growing up and was pretty competitive and was just kind of on a path of, wanting success and all these things. And he's really helped me slow down and kind of smell the roses and stop and see some things and really experience the depth of some things. It's been an absolute blessing and a pleasure to have him in our family. Like I'm just so grateful. I mean, even the way he's impacted my kids has been, my oldest became a special education teacher because of it. So, yeah.
Wow. And what is your role at the Arc?
I am the director of development.
Okay. And it sounds like the heartbeat of the Arc is just overwhelmingly, volunteer based.
There's a lot of it that's volunteer based. We currently have 7 employees right now, but we do have 2 individuals in our office that are self-advocates. So individuals with disabilities that work. We believe we want to, put stuff behind that. One of them is Ryan, who's actually in the fashion show itself. So, yeah. And it's, those are one of my favorite moments, is getting to work with individuals. I love being able to be surrounded by people that are like, I'm not sure I can do this, and be like, let's give it a chance. I bet you can. And when you open up that door, it just creates new possibilities. A lot of times I think people lack confidence because of how they've been treated or how they've been, limited. And we want to remove those barriers and give them opportunities.
Yeah. There's a gal out in New York. Her name is Mindy Shire, and she started the Runway of Dreams. And still just, it was all a matter of having someone with a disability, giving that opportunity to be on the runway, and being able to trying to just change the way fashion, like the way we approach fashion, like making sure that it really truly fits for everyone. I mean, being able to, me being in a seated position, being able to have pants that fit being in a seated position, just being able to look at it just a little bit differently. And it's incredible, because what happens is you start really liking the way your clothes look, and it just boosts that confidence. And the garment ends up being more than just a pair of pants. The garment ends up being more than just a pair of shoes, more than just a jacket. What it ends up being is just this, motivator to take on that next big challenge. And it just, it just turns into this unlock for bigger things. And I'm really, from what I understand, like, this is your first fashion show, but I think this is going to be the first of many. And I think there's going to be just countless unlocks for so many folks.
I sure hope so. I mean, we're pretty excited. Some of our models are in chairs, and some of them are, walk differently and use walkers. And so I know that it's going to unlock a new opportunity for them. And that's really what it's about. Exactly what you said, transforming their inside to help people see really what they have,
Well, Lori, I mean, this is absolutely incredible. And it's such an honor for us to be able to, provide the shoes for the upcoming fashion show. But I want to be respectful of your time. I know there's a lot of focus on right now, like for the fashion show, because it's right around the corner. What's next? What do you see the next big thing to try to wrap your arms around? Well, I don't know. What's next?
Yeah. So one of the things that we did last year was we dabbled with a little bit of a cornhole tournament. And we thought about blowing that up a little bit and making it a little bit more accessible for everybody. I think it's important that people understand that, part of daily life, sometimes you feel left out. And because of a circumstance of something that you have, but we can always figure out a way to make that work. Last year when we did it, we were dabbling with different elements of like, what's the line? How do we do this? We want people to feel challenged, but we also want them to feel supported. And so we're not the place that wants to give them an opportunity to stand right next to the hole and get a bag in every single time. We want it to be that challenging point. So I think taking a program like that, one of the other things we're really focusing on is workforce too. We're trying to figure out how to translate that and change perceptions so that people understand that there are opportunities for individuals to work that have disabilities and that they can do so much in the work field. And we really need to break down some of those barriers. So those are probably the 2 hot things that we're really trying to kind of focus on for the future.
Mm. Well, amen. Those are big ones. That's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing. I'm going to put the websites back up on the screen really quick. So everyone, the upcoming fashion show, make sure to go check it out on the web. It's stylesbeyondstereotypes.org, just as it spells just as it sounds. And on social, the same thing. It's at Styles Beyond Stereotypes on both Facebook and Instagram. Wow. Lori, this is amazing. Thank you again so much for your time.
Thank you guys so much for partnering with us. Without you guys, we couldn't do this. So we really appreciate it.
Well, it's our pleasure. It's our sincere pleasure. Well, everyone else out there, this was another episode of Open Book. I hope you enjoyed it. We will have another one again real soon. So until then.